video for Nick. Hear that? Nick. Thank you not only for the Share Bear, but for this topic. We're putting Share Bear down. Nick's topic is when to listen to yourself versus when to open up and consider advice from others. Well, so I think this is a great topic because there's a lot of people out there that will give you advice on things that they know nothing about. And that happens in my business all the time. I might come up with a great strategy, say in business, for a doctor of mine. So when one of my doctors, I'll give him a great strategy, or her, a great strategy. And well, I think it's a great strategy. And then they leave and they're excited, you know, they're like, yes, it's gonna be amazing. And then the next day, it's like, I'm talking to somebody else. I'm like, well, what happened? Oh, you know, I went home and I was telling my family, I'm like, and, you know, my family wasn't sure if it was a good idea. I'm like, And what does your family do? Oh, well, they're potato farmers. Okay, did you get my point? It's really difficult to take advice from people that have no clue what's happening, right? With your business, with your life, actually, same thing. Do you want to come up here? Yeah? I'll get a lot more views. Here it comes. So if you could get so Charlie Brown wanted to give you some tips too. Right, Charlie Brown, what do you want to tell them? Can you look that way? No, you can't. He loves me. So what do we say about people that want to give advice, Charlie Brown, that know nothing about what you're going through? Not a great idea. All right, so I do, on the other hand, think it is a great idea to take advice from professionals. So, for example, if you know nothing about running a business and this is your first business and you are a doctor, a lawyer, and that is your practice, you should stick to that and allow somebody else to help you with the business plan, the strategy. If you don't know anything about marketing, but you have a 22-year-old nephew that has said hashtag before, don't let them do your marketing. It's probably not a good idea. But when it comes to like, when do you take your own advice and when do you open up? Well, I think that you really have to trust the people that you're going to speak to, because there's so many people that want to give advice that know nothing about what they're giving you advice about. You have to be really clear, right? Do you want somebody to give you advice, or do you want somebody to just listen? Sometimes that's the best thing, is to just, you know, bleh, everything that's going on and allow somebody to hear you and empathize and move on. But I do think that if you are going to take advice from people, make sure these people have actually been through what you're trying to get to. So when to listen to yourself? Well, one of the reasons that I call one of my businesses the Doctor Whisperer is because of that whisper, right? You know, sometimes it comes through as a whisper, and that's usually the first time. And then it's like a sledgehammer, you know? So I think when you get that intuition, which I feel like is the whisper, that's what you should be paying attention to. Because if something doesn't feel right in your gut, then you should really, really question that. And usually, just like our good friend Maya Angelou says, who has since passed and has taught me so many lessons, that people will show you who they are, so believe them the first time. It's a hard lesson to learn, but it has certainly helped me in my life that when somebody does something and I hear that whisper, I pay attention to it. And that's, you know, part of calling my business the Doctor Whisperer was because I do that for my physicians. I say, I don't think you should work with that person. So I think that listening to your own intuition is always a good idea, because we always know right away when something doesn't feel right. And we also know when something feels really good. You know when you meet somebody and like the energy is just fantastic, but then, I don't know, maybe you look at their resume and you see that, they have a gap in it for 3 years, and then all of a sudden your ridiculous brain starts going, oh, that's strange. Well, like, I don't know, maybe they got divorced, or maybe they had kids and they had to take a sabbatical. Maybe they checked into a rehab. Who knows? But I think that when you have that really great intuition and you feel something, you should listen to that, for sure. On a personal note, I call one person in my life when I want to know the truth, and that is Cynthia Rosa in New York. So that's me. I can call a bunch of people when I want to hear what I want them to tell me, but I call her when I want to know the truth. So it really all depends. I really think that you know yourself better than anybody else, and you know what feels good and you know what doesn't feel good. And it's very difficult to take advice from people that have no clue. I love when people say things like, I had a client once say, but they say, so who are they? Well, the experts. Well, no, like who? Who are the experts? Well, my friend who does branding. When were they doing branding? Well, like 20 years ago, but so. I've had doctors say to me before, well, I went home and I was talking to my friends, and they think that we should pay this rate. And I'm like, okay, well, are they in the same specialty as you? Oh, no. Well, it's totally different. So you get the point. And that's it for now. Let me get ShareBear. Hold on. Bye, Nick. Bye. Bye. That's it. I would love it if you commented or subscribed. Or both.